Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtike. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 22. Does anyone remember which text did we finish with?
I think we finished 6 for sure. We finished 6, 5. No, we finished 5th. Liberated.
Listen,
we were talking about the association with the saint.
We finished 7th also.
We finished 7th?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I left and then we finished.
Because one should be very careful to execute. That will make one's life. Yeah, yeah.
So then we are on 8th.
Yeah, thank you. Bhavandatir sneha parilikshatatmano mama shrotum arhasi dinasya shravitam kripaya mune. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shilpa Prabhupada. O great sage, graciously be pleased to listen to the prayer of my humble self. For my mind is troubled by affection for my daughter. When a disciple is perfectly in consonance with the spiritual master, having received his message and executed it perfectly and sincerely, he has a right to ask a particular favor from the spiritual master. Okay, so the favor we should ask is after we have received the message, means we have inquired from him and we have followed the instruction to the best of our capability. And then we can ask for a favor. Okay, generally a pure devotee of the Lord or a pure disciple of a bona fide spiritual master does not ask any favor either from the Lord or the spiritual master. But even if there is a need to ask a favor from the spiritual master, one cannot ask that favor without satisfying him fully. Swayambhuva Manu wanted to disclose his mind regarding the function he wanted to execute due to affection for his daughter. So the idea is being said is, first please the spiritual master, then you ask him for the favor. Then But what is also said is that a pure disciple does not ask any favor either from the Lord or pure or spiritual master. Then we might say, oh, we are keeping on asking the Lord, for so many things and from the devotees. It's okay. Bhagavatam says whether we have all desires, we have no desire, we have desire for liberation, whatever it is, still just worship the Lord. So don't be disheartened. No, don't be disheartened. Oh, I'm asking. Doesn't matter, just continue to hear and chant. Priya vratatana padaho swasheyam duhitam mama yuktam vayashila guna divihi. My daughter is the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanpa. She is seeking a suitable husband in terms of age, character, and good qualities. So earlier the question was raised that how many sons Swayambhuva had? Now, okay, it's clarified, only 2 sons, Priyavrat and Uttanpad. So, and Devahuti is their sister. He had 3 daughters. One is Devahuti, one is Akuti, and I forgot the other one. Anyway, as we go on reading, we understand. So the grown-up daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti, had good character and was well qualified.
Prasuti.
Prasuti, is it?
Yeah, Akuti and Prasuti.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, she had a good character and was well qualified. And therefore, she was searching for a suitable husband, just befitting her age, qualities, and character. So the match between man and woman has to be that they need to match in age, in qualities, in character. The purpose of Manu's introducing his daughter as the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanpad to great kings was to convince the sage that the girl came from a great family. She was his daughter. And at the same time, the sister of Kshatriyas. She did not come from a lower class family. Manu therefore offered her to Kardama as just suitable for his purpose. It is clear that although the daughter was mature in age and qualities, she did not go out and find her husband independently. She expressed her desire for a suitable husband corresponding to her character, age, and quality, and the father himself, out of affection for his daughter, took charge of finding such a husband. Some people still follow this, but I think greatly now things are changing in this regard. Anyway, the point is to find a suitable match. So match that can suit in character and qualities. Yeah.
Sorry to say, but it is not changing because my sister-in-law has a daughter, 27 years old. She's living in US and she's still asking parents to find because she said that it's very, very difficult. I cannot judge who's the right person for me.
That's good.
So it's really difficult for people because they're not meeting people because of the COVID. It's been 3 years and they are indoors. They haven't met people and they don't know actually that how a right person would be. What is the right behavior, or is he making it up, or is he real? So they are still confused.
Okay, so that's good then. She's relying on the good counsel of her parents. Good. Nice. So then text 10, Yadatu Bhavata Shila Shruta Rupa Vayogunan Ashranon Naradad Esha Tvai Asit Krita Nischaya. The moment she heard from the sage Narad of your noble character, learning, beautiful appearance, youth, and other virtues, she fixed her mind upon you. The girl Devahuti did not personally see Kardama Muni, nor did she personally experience his character or qualities, since there was no social intercourse by which she could gain such understanding. But she heard about Kardama Muni from the authority of Narad Muni. Hearing from an authority is a better experience than gaining personal understanding. She heard from Narad Muni that Kardama Muni was just fit to be her husband. Therefore, she became fixed in her heart that she would marry him. And she expressed her desire to her father, who therefore brought her before him. So now Swayambhuva Manu's he's informing to Kardama Muni that, oh, my daughter heard about you from Narad Muni. And then she had a desire to marry you, and that's why I've come. So it was Narad Muni who explained to, who told her about Kardama Muni. Does anyone remember any other another situation where
Rukmani ji.
Yeah.
Rukmani ji also heard.
Yeah. And she set her mind to marry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen now.
That doesn't happen. Mostly it doesn't happen.
Because even they are not so great people are also not there, right? Who they don't have that character that would attract the heart of a woman.
It's true. It's true.
And now it's reached to such a stage that they want to first live in and see how it goes. And then they said, okay, then I'll marry you. They'll marry each other.
Yes, it's true.
The relationship is,
Because actually they are scared. They are scared of the relations being broken and then they suffer. So they are scared of that.
Yeah, it's like, the whole situation is different.
Yeah, very difficult for them.
Different,
I feel it's become too westernized now with our Indian culture. They're just following what the Westerns,
Yes, it's true.
So,
but they are following blindly. They don't even know that how systematic and organized our culture is.
But also, what's happened, because, for example, it was said astrology matched I think we read a few days ago, but then we do not even have those expert astrologers anymore. It is a science.
Yeah.
Yes, astrology is a Vedic science. Yes, but how many people are actually expert in reading it? It's not, majority don't even they can't even guide people properly based on astrology.
Yeah, right.
So,
everything is deteriorating in Kali.
This is age of Kali. We just have to accept it and move on. That's the reason we are just suggested, just hear and chat.
So then I think we should just hold on to Krishna and just do our work. I remember a very, very beautiful line of Amrendra Prabhu on this. He said that work as hard as the result depends on you, but pray as hard. Pray hardest so that your prayers are like Krishna is there for you. Just pray as hard as you can, that the Krishna is the giver of everything, and work as hard as you can do.
Yeah.
So like both things are equally important. The hard work.
Yes.
And the prayers, because and he also said one very beautiful, somebody asked him that how you are smiling always, Prabhuji. And then he said, it was a so beautiful reply. I think it applies to each one of us. He said, जिसके पिता नरसिम्हा देव जैसे शेर प्रभु होंगे, वो सदैव हंसता ही रहेगा. क्योंकि उसको पता है कि वो उनकी गोदी में बैठा है. He's a small, like we are the small children whose father is Narasimha Dev, and we are sitting in the lap of Narasimha Dev. And we are sure, there are three things we are sure, that Krishna will always do good for us. That is the best what he has done. And everything is in his control. Everything is in control of Krishna. And he will do the best for us. So then we don't need to worry for anything. So that's why we should always smile, because we are sure that Krishna is the controller. Everything is in his control, like as you rightly say always.
Yeah, we have to have that faith,
Yeah.
That's very important,
Yeah.
That strong faith, unalloyed.
Yeah, unalloyed devotion. Yeah, and then and you have to have faith that he can never do wrong for you. Never, ever. Yeah. Never. His planning is perfect. So he said, then we all will smile. Just imagine you're sitting in his lap.
Yeah. Tad pratichad vijagrayem mam shraddha yopaharatam maya sarvatmananurupam te grahamedishu karmasu. Therefore, please accept her, O chief of the Brahmanas, for I offer her with faith, and she is in every respect fit to be your wife and take charge of your household duties. The word grahamedishu, karmasu mean in household duties. Another word is also used here, sarvatmana nurupam. The purport is that a wife should not only be equal to her husband in age, character, and qualities, but must be helpful to him in his household duties. The household duty of a man is not to satisfy sense gratification, but to remain with the wife and children, and at the same time attain advancement in spiritual life. One who does not do so is not a householder, but a grahamedhi. Two words are used in Sanskrit literature. One is grahast and the other is grahamedhi. The difference between grahamedhi and grahast is that grahast is also an ashram or spiritual order, but if one simply satisfies his senses as a householder, then he is a grahamedhi. For a grahamedhi to accept a wife means to satisfy the senses, but for a grahast, a qualified wife is an assistant in every respect for advancement in spiritual activities. It is the duty of the wife to take charge of household affairs and not to compete with the husband. A wife is meant to help, but she cannot help her husband unless he is completely equal to her in age, character, and quality. So Prabhupada is explaining to us the difference between grahast and grahamedhi. Grahast is also a spiritual ashram where the man and woman come together for having a family, of course, but at the same time, cultivating spiritual knowledge. But grahamedhi is when man and woman come together, have family, but want nothing to do with spiritual advancement. So again, here Prabhupada is bringing to point that wife and husband should be equal in character, quality, and age, so they can help each other. Mutual. There has to be mutual cooperation instead of competition.
And it says age also, huh?
Age, yeah. Yeah, similar, equal in age, quality, and I guess because if the age is too different, then the thinking might be too different. No? So age, quality, and character is said. To have cooperation between husband and wife, to have a healthy family life.
So grahamedhi means it's just to satisfy your senses, your sense gratification. That's
right.
what.
Yeah,
right?
and nothing to do with advancing
Nothing
in
to do.
spiritual life. And whereas grahast means living according to the principles of the grahast ashram, supporting the other three ashrams, engaging, of course, family life is there, but at the same time, cultivate spiritual knowledge. That is grihast ashram. And that's why it's called ashram. Leading on to, so we can see, practically in Kali Yuga, that, doesn't exist anymore. What percentage of people but are actually, most of us are just busy engaged in sense gratification. So how to do, what to do? Again, that's the reason Lord Caitanya, he gave us very practical, very, very practical way to, for us to get perfection. He said, just chant the holy name. Just chant and everything will happen. Because he knows our qualifications.
Prescribed duties. We should do our prescribed duties, that as well as also, have the devotional love for God, like that service. Bhakti has to also go.
Yeah, that is grahas. That you do both. Yeah.
And do good karmas, like good deeds.
Yeah, yes.
These three things I think we follow.
Yes. 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 So udyatasya hi kamasya pratibado nashasyate api nirmukta sangasya kama raktasya kim punaha. To deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable, even for one absolutely free from all attachment, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure. In material life, everyone is desirous of sense gratification. Therefore, a person who gets an object of sense gratification without endeavor should not refuse to accept it. Means we all want to enjoy, sense enjoyment, sense pleasure. We want it. We continue having sense pleasure even in the spiritual world. Of course, in spiritual world, it is spiritual senses. It's not material. But in the material world, we are getting material sense pleasure. So the idea is if someone gives you a gift, don't refuse it, Gautama Muni was not meant for sense gratification, yet he aspired to marry and prayed to the Lord for a suitable wife. This was known to Swayambhuva Manu. It indirectly convinced Gautama Muni, you desire a suitable wife like my daughter, and she is now present before you. You should not reject the fulfillment of your prayer. You should accept my daughter. So, ya udyatam anadritya kinnasham abhiyachate shiyate tad yashah sfitam manas chavagyaya hataha. One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but later begs a boon from a miser, thus loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. The general procedure of Vedic marriage is that a father offers his daughter to a suitable boy. That is a very respectable marriage. A boy should not go to the girl's father and ask for the hand of his daughter in marriage. That is considered to be humbling one's respectable position. Swayambhuva Manu wanted to convince Kardama Muni since he knew that the sage wanted to marry a suitable girl. I'm offering such a suitable wife. Do not reject the offer, or else, because you are in need of a wife, you will have to ask for such a wife from someone else who may not behave with you so well. In that case, your position will be humbled. Anyway, so another feature of this incident is that Swayambhuva Manu was the emperor, but he went to offer his qualified daughter to a poor Brahman. Kardama Muni had no worldly possessions. He was a hermit living in the forest, but he was advanced in culture. Therefore, in offering one's daughter to a person, the culture and quality are counted as prominent, not wealth or any other material consideration. So Devahuti, princess, she's accustomed to living in palaces with maidservants, all the comforts, emperor of the world. And here she's going to get married to Kardama Muni, who's living in a hut in a forest. But what the idea is that they matched in culture and they matched in quality, not the wealth. Yeah. So that the values match, and so they could have a happy life. Aham swashan navam vidvan vivahartham samudyatam atastvam upakurvanaha pratam pratigrahaname. Swayambhuva Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you were prepared to marry. Please accept her hand, which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy. The principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. There are two kinds of brahmacharis. One is called Nashtika brahmachari, which means one who takes a vow of celibacy for his whole life, whereas the other, the Upakurvana brahmachari, is a brahmachari who takes the vow of celibacy up to a certain age. For example, he may take the vow to remain celibate up to 25 years of age. Then, with the permission of his spiritual master, he enters married life. So Nashtika brahmachari means they're lifelong brahmachari. They take a vow of brahmacharya, and even after they come marriageable age, they don't marry. They continue to remain brahmachari for full life, and some of them might eventually take up sannyas. And some might not, but some might. And the other is a brahmachari who remains brahmachari for a certain time. And after a certain time, after getting permission from a spiritual master, he marries. Brahmacharya is student life, the beginning of life in the spiritual orders. And the principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. Only a householder can indulge in sense gratification or sex life, not a brahmachari. So Swayambhuva Manu requested Kardama Muni to accept his daughter. Since Kardama had not taken the vow of Naishtika Brahmacharya, he was willing to marry, and the suitable daughter of a high royal family was presented. So, Rishi Rovacha Badam Uvodu Kamoham Apratacha Tavatmaja Avayor Anurupo Sav Adayo Veva Hiko Vidihi. The great sage replied, certainly I have a desire to marry, and your daughter has not yet married or given her word to anyone. Therefore, our marriage according to the Vedic system can take place. There were many considerations by Kardama Muni before accepting the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Most important is that Devahuti had first of all fixed her mind on marrying him. She did not choose to have any other man as her husband. That is a great consideration, because female psychology dictates that when a woman offers a heart to a man for the first time, it is very difficult for her to take it back. Also, she had not married before. She was a virgin girl. All these considerations convinced Kardama Muni to accept her. Therefore, he said, yes, I shall accept your daughter under religious regulations of marriage. There are different kinds of marriages, of which the first-class marriage is held by inviting a suitable bridegroom for the daughter and giving her in charity, well-dressed and well-decorated with ornaments, along with a dowry according to the means of the father. So this is like the Kanyadan. There are other kinds of marriage, such as Gandharva marriage and marriage by love, which are also accepted as marriage. Even if one is forcibly kidnapped and later on accepted as a wife, that is also accepted. But Kardama Muni accepted the first-class way of marriage because the father was willing and the daughter was qualified. She had never offered her heart to anyone else. All these considerations made Kardama Muni agree to accept the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. So he's thinking, okay, your daughter has anyway fixed her mind to marry me. She's suitable. You are, and everything looks so auspicious and so nice. And so he's like, yes, I will get married to her. Seems like a very good match. So even in Vedic times, there was Gandharva marriage. There was marriage by love. Someone was kidnapped and later on accepted as wife. So there were all these things even in Vedic times. Anyone wants to add anything? Comment?
What is Gandharva? Like Prem we understand, but then what is the Gandharva Viva?
I think that is it that they would kidnap the girl?
Okay.
Was it like that? I'm not too sure, you know, like how
Gandharva, there was
this
some
one,
other name.
what was how Krishna?
Krishna's, yeah, there was some other name to it, not Gandharva.
Oh, then I'm not really sure.
As far, even I'm not sure as far as
Gandharva. Gandharva.
Gandharva, yeah, Gandharva. So I'm not very sure what it is.
Yeah, even I'm not sure.
But I know, like, for example, Krishna.
Oh, so that's called Gandharva when you abduct someone.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is really called, but I just know that Krishna took Rukmani away. You know, even Krishna, Arjuna took Subhadra away.
And then even Bhishma Pita, right? He
took those girls.
3 daughters, yeah.
Yeah, of
3 sisters.
his brother. Yeah, so there were these different types of men.
So then maybe that is Gandharva only. Maybe, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what the point was here, that they were saying that they were suitable for each other. Even though the wealth didn't match, but they were suited in character and personality, in qualities, in age, and so that there would be good cooperation between them and not competition and clash of ego. So that was the main consideration here. So thank you so much for joining in and listening in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.